Welcome back. We turn now to No Days Off, featuring area high school coaches, and today we highlight Whitmer. Ken Winters took over the Panthers team 2 years ago and is now going into his third season. Can they have yet another successful season in 2018 with the talent on their roster? Coach Winters weighs in on that and more.
For the first time since 2012, the Whitmer Panthers enter a football season as the defending league champions. Coach Winters, have you guys made that move now from being the hunters to being the hunted?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it as a team yet. That'll be definitely something that we address as we go into 2 days, because we will have the bullseye on the back. But being in this program for so long and having the success that we have, we usually do have the bullseye on our back.
Been in this program a long time as an assistant, entering your third year as a head coach. Do you feel like this is your team at this point?
Oh, absolutely. The first year, you rely a lot on your assistant, and our assistants have been together for really since 2006. So I got great staff under me, and they kind of helped me through that first season. And then you take more ownership going into the second one, and definitely going into the third.
Let's talk a little about that staff. Obviously, as the head coach, you're dealing with not only all the players, but you also have to coach the coaches as well. How important is it to have good chemistry on the coaching staff as well as good chemistry on the team?
Oh, it's huge. Like I said, we've been together since 2006, the majority of us, and we've been through the battles. We've been through the last game, the final game, 2 Final Fours, and just knowing and being able to trust them has been good. But we shook it up a little bit. We had a couple guys that stepped down, Dave Laser, Greg Kubicki. They're no longer with us, and luckily we brought a few younger guys in. The last 2 years, my first 2 years, and now they have to step up. So it's going to be a little bit interesting. Some of the core guys that have left, and now it's time for the younger coaches to step up.
Let's take a minute and look back in the 2017 season. Obviously, ran the table, undefeated regular season, made it to the third round of the postseason. I would presume that Week 6 victory over Central Catholic probably is one of the highlights of the season. First time Central had lost a league game since 2012. A big game that everybody was looking forward to, and the Panthers came out with a victory.
Yeah, it was huge for us. Up to that point, we wanted to be 6-0 going into that. We weren't really sure. Our first 3 games were pretty tough, and we were on the road to Canton, we were on the road to DCC, and we had to play a rival in Perrysburg. We got through those, and then both of us being undefeated at that point. And the worst part was, it was disappointing. My first year, Central came in here, and I really thought that we were going to get them then, and we weren't in that game. And to be able to beat them after really 4 years of losing was huge for our program and for our kids.
Do you consider Central the gold standard in the track, or is Whitmer the gold standard?
I think we're both about the same level. I'm not, I think definitely we're on the same level, and the stats prove it, the data prove it. The track and then going back to the City League. Really comes down to that game, whoever wins that game.
And in the postseason, 2 thrilling wins over Lorraine and Olentangy. Both of those games, you look back at those and go, wow, there 1 or 2 things go differently. We could lose that game. Instead, you win them both, and you almost get that team of destiny going into the postseason.
Yeah, emotional roller coaster. It is exhausting. But to be able to come out and winners, made it. I'd take that ride anytime.
How much motivation is there now over the way last season ended, though?
Yeah, we're all, and that's been our message. Going into last season is about do your job. This year's about finish the job. Kind of frustrating. We had our worst game at the worst possible time, so that last loss was definitely frustrating. But it also gives us something to motivate us going forward.
Now, as we sit here just outside your office, some renovations going on at Whitmers Stadium. Some cool things that the public are going to be able to see, hopefully by just a few weeks from now when the season begins.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit different in the locker room. New pictures up, some new sign up. But the big thing is that we're trying to get done, and hopefully it's done at some point in the season. Hopefully by week 1 is we're going to make we're opening up the middle of the stadium, and it's going to be kind of a Hall of Fame, and all the old players that won league honors are going to be on the banner. They used to have pictures up. We're going to make a banner. We also are going to have a few memorabilia from the teams that have done well here. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we can get it done in time.
How important is it to have good relations with the alumni and with the Whitmer community?
Oh, you have to. And our community up here is wonderful. They embrace us. You know, they expect success. We've luckily been able to give them that, but they're behind us even in the good times and the bad times.
Speaking of success, 4 former Whitmer Panthers in NFL camps this summer. You look at what the Hollies have done with the Rams. You got Storm Norton in Minnesota, and obviously Chris Wormley with the Ravens. How have those 4 guys been able to give back to the program?
Well, they all have in a certain way. Chris doesn't get back as much, but he DM'd me during last season. He said, "Coach, we have bins of shoes here at the Ravens, and if your players need some, send some back." And both the Hollies have came back and actually put our kids through workout. Nate, as he worked his way to where he's at, he had some time. He was back here. He was in our weight room working with our kids. He was on our sidelines last year. The kids really look up to him. And Storm has worked with our offensive linemen, so they've all given back.